Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our very first, our inaugural
Yes.
Girl Scouts to Trailblazer alumni series, and my first initiative as the CEO, at least social media initiative. And I am so excited to be with Savannah's ultimate hype woman.
Yes. I'm glad to be here. We're ready.
I spoke last week briefly at the ribbon cutting for the new hybrid ferry that
Right.
the city of Savannah has now. The Juliet Load 2 is one of the newest ones and honors our founder for the Girl Scouts. But I loved it because you made me feel so welcome. And
Oh,
when I learned that you were a Girl Scout, I said, this lady is got to be the very first person that I speak to because that's really the spirit of Girl Scouts. It's about sisterhood
yes.
and lifting up
Hmm.
all of our girls, especially Girl Scout
Yeah.
alums. So thank you for making me feel
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you for letting me be the first to just tell what we say we're going to do. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely living the Girl Scout legacy and being your
Yes.
authentic self.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed following your social media because you show
Don't hold
up.
that against me.
No, I love it. It's like real. We teach our girls to be
Yeah.
authentic and that God
Yes.
made us uniquely you. So don't try
Yeah.
and be anybody.
Yes.
And you walk it and live it every
I
day.
appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. So I know that you're a community activist.
Hmm.
You're our loud, proud alderwoman here, District 3.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit why you chose to go the route of being a community activist and deciding to take this journey as a city councilwoman.
Well, being a Girl Scout, the three fingers actually represent who I am today, serving God, our country, and doing good things in the community. And that's how I live my life. That's how I taught my children to be authentic and be creative. And, when we say hard choices, for me, there aren't any really hard choices if you're doing the right thing. And I don't have to be popular about what I feel about because the choices that you make are never going to be popular because somebody's going to always be on the other side, right? And so as long as, I can look in the mirror and know who I am and what my assignment is, and my assignment is to be, and not being cliche, to be as diverse as I could be, because that's how we win when we include everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scheme of things. And when you're a Girl Scout, and this was like in the 60s, and we started out in kindergarten because that's where our community base was. Miss Eva Mutri and Miss Palmer, they were our kindergarten teachers, but they always tried to make us own who we are. And that was a time when it was separate, but for us it was equal, right? Because we got to do the other things that everybody else got a chance to do. We got to experience 4-H. That was a big thing because we are a community where horses and cows and stuff like that happen. And we had the what was it, the Coastal Empire Fair. We got to participate in that. And so being a Girl Scout, I think I did like a year of it, but when your mom works after your dad's deceased, then you become the person that takes care of your brothers. And so the Girl Scout is, honoring, who you are and taking care of your people. So I had to take care of two brothers. I was like 8 or 9, but you mature early when you have to be a leg and in that wheel. And so all the amazing things, the three fingers, the third district, for me, it's kind of full circle. And the most beautiful thing is that I live in Gordonston, and right across the circle from where I live is where Juliet Lowe
Wow.
lived. And so
Mm-hmm.
I believe in destination and seeing you and the young Olivia was her name, I believe,
Mm.
the one with the blue on.
Yeah, Eva.
Eva,
Yes,
I know.
yes,
She was
Eva.
amazing, and she
Wasn't
looked the part,
she?
right? And so when we talk about history, our curator, um, uh, Luciana, she's amazing. And these things that are behind us,
Mm-hmm.
it brought a warm spirit. How, when we were going to school, we maybe had 2 or 3 outfits, and having that as another outfit that you could take care of at such a young, I get full because a lot of times, young people don't have that ownership. And when you're a Girl Scout, you have all of these people who are supporting you and you know they're there. And so here we are in 2025, and we have these amazing women who don't, we kind of like forgot why we're here. But for all of these years, since there was a Juliet Lowe who initiated that, her vision is still relevant and pertinent and inclusive. And that's who we are. So I thought when I saw you and you said that, come on and do this with me, I'm like, yeah, let's do this. I love being a part of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff, especially sustainability. And that's what Girl Scout is. It's about sustainability, you know.
Did you ever imagine when you were a brownie and a daisy that this movement would still be around a century? Like, I mean, it's been here a century.
Yeah.
That you'd be sitting here today, an alderwoman for one of the first city in our United States and the best in the country, the world, maybe.
Yeah. You know, my whole journey has been about service, you know, first as a parochial school teacher. I worked in Atlanta as a coordinator with the summer youth program under Maynard Jackson. And, you know, just all the things that makes I'm looking, because I'm still for all the things that makes a community. It starts with creating productive citizens, right? And so the public speaking, all the things that make you a whole person, we have to nurture them when they're small. Because if we don't get them when they're small, it's more difficult to try to teach children things that they're picking up from church and from their peers, which is the strongest influence, right? And so what better way to be among people who have like minds and who love being girls? Because, you know, we grow up now, they don't really have girly girls, you know? Everybody wants to be an adult.
Yeah, I just saw on Good Morning America where teens are using over washing their face with all these chemicals because they want to. Yeah.
And you know what works?
Dove
Vaseline and Dove soap, you know.
Did you learn that in the Girl Scouts?
We learned that in the Girl Scouts.
Oh,
you know, really,
beautiful.
We learned how to be, first, you can't serve God and serve your country and serve people if you're not serving yourself. That's not being narcissistic. You know, I am of the age now that I realize I got to stay healthy. You know, I got to stay healthy for my mom. I got to stay healthy for me, my family, and this community. You know, it's sickening the things that we have to do, but this is the hook.
Yeah, the hook.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts are the hook. The Girl Scouts are the hook. Anything, these are tools. These are tools in a young girl's path to do better, you know. And what better way you start out with prayer. And it doesn't matter who you're praying to, as long as you're praying. And that you have somebody who is a higher being that guides you to say, you know how we used to be the angels on this side and the devils on this side? None of that matters. It's right here. It's inside of you, right?
Vertical.
Yes. And so when we make decisions, we have to make those decisions where we have been given the tools, right? And I keep looking back because that was a tool.
Yeah,
I love that little uniform.
It evokes a lot of memories,
yes,
doesn't it?
Does. Good ones and bad, you know.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's a sisterhood that's lasted. And, you know, while I'm not active formally, the TAMs, you know, all of that stuff, today I'm really feeling full because I know from where I came from. And because, I'm really serious, because when you have a foundation, you know, I had a son that got killed here, you know, Catholic, Pentecostal background, but we are a praying family. So I always know I'm going to pray a long time or a short time, but I'm going to pray. And so being a part of this amazing organization and sitting here and saying that I always try to stay prepared, you know, I always want to serve God and my country and this community. And we're going to be 400 years old in a few, you know, and so all of these things, these integral parts, all of these cogs in the wheel makes Savannah the hostess city, makes who we are. And everybody that's a Girl Scout started right here
in Savannah.
Isn't that amazing?
With a great vision.
Yes, yes. And so people without a vision is a lost people. And so we have all of these people who, in the scheme of things, God put them in place to do these amazing things.
Yes.
These amazing, awesome things that in our time, we are in a city where we can walk where she walked. You know,
Oh, that's powerful.
it's the truth.
Walk where she walked.
Walk where she walked.
You know, I just learned yesterday that it is believed that her spirit is still in the Andrew Lowe house, and that she even lays on the bed. So she may still be around based on some beliefs.
We want to believe that she is, because it's on her shoulders that you are standing, right? In her vision, and you are amazing, because you act like, you know, you were up there and you were drawing people in, you know, and that's what you want to do. Yeah. When you speak in front of people, you want to say, oh, you want to have a hook.
Yeah.
And for little girls in Savannah, this is the hook. I started out this journey in kindergarten. Our kindergarten teacher saw something in us from out of East Savannah on Treat Street in a kindergarten. This powerful woman of God who was very influential in this community in East Savannah, in the 3rd district. So all of my firsts happened in the 3rd district. You know, lost my son in the 3rd district, and that's why I'm sitting here trying to be a powerful voice. You know, and I'll tell you, I will give out before I give up, especially with the hook,
the tools,
and the tools.
Well, speaking of the tools, so I learned joining Girl Scouts that every one of our U.S. state representatives are Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Every one of our female astronauts were Girl Scouts.
Jameson, I saw that. I went and Googled some stuff. All these amazing trailblazers.
Yes.
People who believed, and people in the back of their mind, you know, all those great women. That hook, our slogan, our motto: be prepared. And you got to know that they all were prepared to be amazing.
So it sounds to me like Girl Scouts are really, and 80% of our state, our U.S. U.S. senators are Girl Scouts.
Yes.
So what tools do you think from Girl Scouts help prepare all of you strong, powerful women to serve our country, to serve our cities, to serve our states in a deeper way?
Yeah, well, to be authentic, to be your original person, not worry about the outside noise. If you have a career path and you have these tools, you can be anybody. We got, I believe, a Supreme Court justice, you know, just amazing women who were first in their chosen fields, right? So that just goes to show me, like Savannah State, you can go anywhere from here.
Yes.
Yeah. So many people have went everywhere, from being a brownie to a daisy to a Girl Scout, you know, and I'm just so happy to be here and be a part of Savannah's journey, and this amazing woman who loved green, you know.
Well, they say Girl Scouts always bleed green,
yes,
and you're addressing it today.
I'm ready.
And a shameless plug is that we have a Girl Scout alumni group. It's called the Green Hat Society.
Get out of here.
I've got to get you to join us.
You've got to get me to join it.
It's we're launching it in our Georgia Council in Macon, but we are going to start embracing it here in Savannah, because I will share, I know a lot. Like, I followed you for years, way before I knew you were a Girl Scout. And I work alongside so many colleagues that I think are amazing, high-performing trailblazers in their industry. And as soon as they learned that I was the new CEO, they came out of the woodwork and said, I'm a Girl Scout. Because once a Girl Scout, always a Girl Scout. And I was like, well, that makes sense. You know, I was never a Girl Scout growing up, but my heart always was. I can feel it. Yes. And so to see the impact, sorry, my son and God, to
service,
see,
it never stops.
To see the impacts that the Girl Scout has made on the trajectory of these high-performing women that I rub elbows with every day. It's just been incredible.
So many powerful women in this community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the fun part is, it's fun.
Yes. Yes. To be your authentic self. You know, there is nothing worse than trying to be somebody else when you're not meant to be them.
Oh my God. That's a hard job.
Yeah, it is. That fake face.
Yeah.
So we are going to move into some fun.
Come on, let's go.
Yes. Girl Scout fun, some Girl Scout throwbacks. I'm gonna ask you a few questions to start with. What's one badge you definitely earned, or one you may have finessed a little?
Yeah. You know what I think it could have been, it should have been that kind of resonates. Friendship.
Yeah.
You know, having somebody, you know, your neighbors who went to kindergarten with you, and then you get a badge for having a friend. You know, how amazing is that? And still having that friend.
Yes.
That friend, you know, I remember Valerie Hamilton. She and I are still friends.
Yeah.
Since kindergarten.
Lifelong
lifelong friends. And she was in
Sisterhood.
that troop. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All in kindergarten.
Yes. Oh my God.
Did you ever get caught sneaking extra cookies from your own cookie stash?
Let me tell you something. Before there was a salesperson, there was a person who ate all the cookies and had to pay for it, right?
It was you.
That was me.
You were writing your own check for your own cookies.
My own check for my cookies. And my friends. You know, before you know the value of it, you know, sink or swim, you could not bring cookies back.
Uh-huh.
You know, you always friendly competition, you know, you always wanted, so what you didn't sell, your family bought.
Yeah.
And they gave it back to you anyway. You know, so you could resell it, re-eat it, whatever. But Girl Scout cookies and selling it was the culmination that everybody waited for. Everybody waited for that, because then the places that you couldn't go, you could go. And the older people, you were proud to put on your little uniform and say, look, I'm doing this, you know, and I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when I still get texts nowadays instead of from the Girl Scouts that you want to buy cookies.
What you talking about?
It's so different. Yes. If your 10-year-old Girl Scout self met you today, what would she say?
Oh, man. She would say, I'm so grateful to know you and what you've become and how far you've come, because, you know, I'm getting food, because it's about growth, you know, and if you don't grow, then you become stagnant. And you know, being almost 70, every day I want to grow up, and I want to experience something different, because that's what life is about. And being a Girl Scout prepared us for, you know, good things and bad things, but it prepared you to be an original person and not worry about the outside noise. And so I would congratulate myself for staying the course and being prepared.
I love it.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I don't have tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on.
I love it.
Yeah, but it's the truth, you know.
That's,
when you're prepared, you know, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And my daughters, when they went off to school, they put that. Every day they woke up, I'm like, you got to be prepared. You got to work harder. You got to do more. And that way, you know, when people say, you know, reach for the stars, we want to go past the stars. And so your reach is your work ethics. And people can't tell you who you are and who you can be if you don't know right in here what you want to be.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And it's kind of cleansing. It's kind of cathartic, you know, to go back. And when you asked me that question, I got really full, because I'm just, like I said, you know, I'm just really proud of who I am and what I stand for, integrity and doing good things. You know, that's just who I am, and that's who I want. And when you said that you've been following me, people tell me that. And when I'm walking in the street, I'm a talker anyway. And so my children don't even like going places with me. They're like, because you're going to stop, and I don't want to go to the grocery store with you because you're going to be doing this. And so I'm just loving this job, and I'm just loving who I am. And I hope that sincerely resonates with people, that this journey is real and we can't get out of it unless we embrace it. That's how you win, when you're embracing everybody at the same time. And so I don't have the luxury, even as an elected official, even if you didn't vote for me, my platform is what it is. I'm going to do as much as I can for as many people as I can, as often as I can. And you got to be prepared to do that. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go into sassy city talk.
Come on now, let's go.
What's more dramatic, a city council meeting or a campfire story?
A campfire story.
More dramatic.
More dramatic, because you know what? We had these little people with big ideas, right? And then we got grown people who sit in these big chairs with little ideas.
Oh,
yeah.
That's profound.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
And so kids, children, right now, when I go into a room, people either gonna like me or they don't like me, but kids get me. Mm-hmm. And so my first conversation is, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? Who is your parents? Where you live? You know, to get them talking. And the hook is, what do you like to do? Right? Adults already have in their mind what they like to do. You know, they have these preconceived ideas, unlike children who have ideas where they always want to hug you, you know, but you got adults who should know that, but they don't carry that with them. Yeah. So yeah, that campfire and making up stories and being creative and being authentic and not worrying about it, because everybody's all hyped up. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. Life, you gotta be hyped up.
Yes.
And so living my life is, and I go in these rooms and my kids are like, Mom, people gonna think you're crazy. I'm like, that's the good part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's crazy, right?
Right.
You know, and so
but you're always
love
you.
Who I am. Yeah.
Always you.
Yeah.
If your troop ran the city for a day, what would change? Sassy city talk.
Let's see what would change. We'd have green water in the Forsyth Park every day, for that whole day, and we would walk the path of a Girl Scout who prepared all of this for us, a whole century of seeing what everybody says. Love God, love your country, and do good every day. If we could get everybody all over, if we could just do that in Savannah, if we could get everybody to stand on that. You know, we got all of these churches. Everybody goes to church on Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. If we can make a Sunday and every day where people are talking about, and I'm not looking at the world with rose-colored glasses. I'm saying, you know, on Sunday and Christmas, in this community, when things happen bad, people unite to do good things, right? And so I'm saying for one day, if I could show people what it could be to just work together on anything. Yeah. And it wouldn't even be a day.
So I hear you saying they would live by the Girl Scout law.
Yes.
All day long.
All day long.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's get into some rapid fire rounds.
Come on, let's go.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Thin mints or tagalongs?
Thin mints.
Yeah, I love those. Tents or cabins?
Tents.
Hiking boots or glittery shoes?
Glittery hiking boots. We get to glam them up now.
I love it.
It's appropriate.
City alderwoman or troop leader?
City alderman, that's a troop leader.
I love how you're jamming, mishmashing these together. Megaphone or marshmallow stick?
Megaphone!
I love it.
Yes, you got to be loud and proud all the time.
Listen, I want some campfire confessions with you.
Oh, wow.
What was your real motivation during cookie season? Helping the troop or buying the roller skates?
Helping the troops.
Did you ever fake a stomach ache to skip a hike or chore? Spill it.
I faked something to stay.
To stay in the Girl Scout on a hike?
Yeah, on a hike to make it last longer. Wow. And so, you know what? I remember, you know how you get the badges, the first aid badges? Oh, I was always the guinea pig. So you fake stuff to see if they know what they're doing. Because if you go somewhere, you want to make sure that the people around you know what they're doing.
Yes. Yeah. What's the realest Girl Scout lesson that stuck with you into adulthood?
On my honor.
Oh, on my honor.
We take that when you become a elected official. You say the same thing. On my honor, I will do my best to serve the city. Yeah. And that's the same thing that you do as a Girl Scout.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So we're gonna kind of go back in a time machine. You've been looking at this collection that our historian from First Headquarters brought over. She knew you were around in the 60s. So all these are from the 60s. So let's talk about it. What is emotion is evoked?
The first time I put the brownie hat on, you know, had a lot of hair then, but, you know, I can remember wanting to go from here to there, right? And wanting to always do more, right? And achieve more. And these little outfits, was just another addition, because I've always loved clothes and dressing and stuff. So this was, how we wear the hat, how you position it, and walking from my house, right, to where we went to kindergarten, and walking down the street with our uniforms on.
Proud.
Yeah, just proud. It's amazing. Thank you.
Gosh.
And thank you for allowing me to be the first person to talk about this amazing organization and the time and the children. You know what? If it is haunted, I know she's saying, wow, I'm still here. Yeah. And people are feeling me.
Yep.
Yeah. The spirit. And you know what? The best thing and the most thing that I got from out being a Brownie and a Girl Scout is to always be prepared. Always be prepared. And so,
well, speaking of that, I have to send you away with one more little thing. These are not from the 60s. They're fresh. But you can't send you away without Girl Scout cookies.
Oh my God. S'mores. Yeah, I think we created s'mores. We really did. The Boy Scouts try to claim it, but that's on girls. You already know the world is run by Girl Scouts.